You ain't gonna be mayor either. You ain't gonna be mayor either. Whole city. George Floyd.
Are you ready?
George Floyd.
Fuck you.
I already ruined my life.
That's 60. You want to go for 90?
It.
That's 90 more. That's 180. That's 306.
I'm working at McDonald's. Now I gotta come here and my life up. You.
The idea, man? Huh? You got me looking like a clown? Stupid Paul. Mayor.
My daddy owns the building and I look like a idiot, huh? Brought your dress today, you little prick.
This is the pre-trial hearing of Alan McCarty. Alan faces charges of making death threats against a judge whom he mistakenly believes abducted his children in a custody case 14 months ago.
You wanna take my kids from me and act like that? You in that?
The hearing begins with a wild note as the defendant, Alan McCarty, flips the finger at the judge.
All right, raise your right hand. I'm going to swear you in.
I'm not under oath.
Raise your right hand, please.
That's your bad finger. I didn't appreciate that.
The innocent judge becomes a target for an imaginary crime committed by another judge, leading to a back-and-forth exchange.
Want to be in the room or not?
Do you want to suck my?
I'd prefer not to, sir.
Well, you got a mouth for it. Can I get some more, please? I got a lot more cussing to do. I need to wet my mouth.
Do you want to be here when the jury's here?
What the do you think?
I don't know. I need you to answer.
Despite the judge's efforts to get answers, McCarty is eventually dragged out of the court and sentenced to 20 years in a Florida state prison. McCarty may sound so rude and disrespectful, but you will be shocked by the next reaction you're about to see. Number 2. William Demopoulos. This is the probation hearing of 18-year-old William Demopoulos. He is serving probation for criminal damage, unauthorized use of a motor vehicle, and obstructing justice. The hearing takes a rocky turn when Judge Chris Green asked Demopoulos to hand over his phone to the probation officer. Demopoulos refuses, willing to give up his freedom for his cell phone. The judge explains the probation rules, emphasizing that the probation officer has the right to take anything they want.
When you are on probation, your probation officer has the right to take anything they want to take of yours. If they want to search your phone, they search your phone. The problem is, you don't want to play by anybody's rules. You want to play by your own rules. It's not like...
The situation escalates as Demopoulos resists, leading the judge to order his handcuffing. In response, Demopoulos makes a sudden attempt to escape. But he is immediately subdued and the judge revokes his probation, charging him with resisting arrest and sentencing him to 40 days in jail. You might think you've seen all the drama there is to see, but wait till you hear about our next defendant. Number 3. Brice Rhodes. This is Jefferson District Court at the bond hearing of Brice Rhodes. He had been indicted on multiple charges, including shooting and killing an innocent man with his 2 brothers, aged 16 and 14, who were witnesses to the crime. During the trial, Rhodes displayed erratic behavior, blowing kisses to people in the courtroom, including the grieving family of the victims. Despite facing serious charges, Rhodes doesn't hesitate to make bizarre accusations toward the judge, insinuating a questionable relationship or potential racism.
I don't know if y'all got some type of sexual relationship going on. Are you some type of racist? Which one is it?
Or are you just wrong in everything that you made a motion for?
Are you a secret Ku Klux Klan member?
Despite the judge's attempts to maintain order, Rhodes continues to disrupt the hearing, resulting in charges of threatening in the 3rd degree and intimidating a participant in the legal process.
Listen, stop talking. You have been... Are you done?
No, I'm done.
You've been charged with assault in the 4th degree. I'm gonna keep talking because I don't want to have to see you back here for this.
What you think can't find out where you live at? What you think at? I don't about none of that. I ain't do.
Rhodes is found guilty of these charges and sentenced to 15 years in prison. 15 years behind bars for 3rd-degree intimidation with multiple murder charges seems like a fair judgment. Our next defendant's sentence and reaction would shock you. Number 4. Bass Webb. This is 30-year-old Bass Webb, who faces 2 counts of attempted murder. The judge, unaware of the victim's connection to Webb, decides to withdraw herself from the trial.
Matters no way I want to try this case or have any further proceedings where I have to see you for one further second.
Webb shocked the courtroom by spitting on the judge.
Next week. Charge.
The judge wipes the spit off and kicks him out of the courtroom. Turns out, Webb has a pretty dark past. When he was behind bars, he faced charges for the murder of 2 different girlfriends. He was found guilty of killing his first girlfriend, and now he's on trial for the second. Webb showed no remorse throughout the trial, and the jury eventually found him guilty. Webb was charged with third-degree assault and was sentenced to life in prison. If you feel the sentence is well-deserved, I bet you might feel the same about Milton Watts. Number 5. Milton Watts. This is 21-year-old Milton Watts, who turned himself in after a warrant was issued for his arrest for failing to attend his domestic violence hearing. Watts, without an attorney, attempts to represent himself, but ends up incurring a $5,000 bond for contempt in court.
I don't really give a to be honest with you.
That's going to cost you 30 days in the county jail for contempt, $5,000 cash surety bond, temporary, subject to the temporary protection order.
It. I already ruined my life.
That's 60. You want to go for 90?
It.
That's 90 more. That's 180. That's 306.
I'm working at McDonald's. Now I gotta come here and my life up. You.
Melvin, stop.
How many days you want to give me now? Are you Sir County?
Yeah, I'm at about a year right now in contempt, so.
Despite his escalating defiance, the judge finally settles on a 90-day sentence. Milton's sentencing and reaction can't be compared to our next defendant's sentencing or reaction. Number 6. Darrell Brooks. This is Darrell Brooks, who was convicted of killing 6 people and injuring a dozen in a Christmas parade incident. After Brooks got arrested and charged, he chose to represent himself in court.
If you are allowed to represent yourself in this case, sir, you will not have attorneys assisting you. They are gone from this case. Do you understand that?
I think I would probably be better served representing myself.
During the trial, Brooks was removed from court multiple times and had an outburst over the pronunciation of the word defendant.
I would like to provide the defendant and the court.
So that had to be said. The defendant. I got one ear that work and I heard that.
This is to benefit you, that
it's
you
not.
understand
Ain't none of
your
this to benefit me.
His true personality emerged when he started laughing during a witness testimony.
He told Erica that he was gonna find her and he was gonna kill her.
Brooks was seriously frustrated. He decided to have a stare down with the judge.
I need to take a break. This man right now is having a stare down with me. It's very disrespectful. He pounded his fist. Frankly, it makes me scared.
The jury finds him guilty of all charges, and he is sentenced to 6 life sentences plus 700 additional years in prison. Darren Brooks' sentencing was harsh indeed, only that it seems inconsequential when compared to our next defendant's reaction. Number 7. Jacob Larsen. Heading to Jackson, Michigan is the protection violation hearing against Jacob Larsen. Accused of sending unwanted advances on Facebook to a former acquaintance with a restraining order against him. Larsen displays a bad attitude throughout the hearing. The judge sentences him to 3 days in jail, warning of harsher consequences for any future violations.
You know what? I told you to leave her alone. And apparently that didn't get through loud and clear. So today, you're going to jail for 3 days. And the next time you violate it, you're going to jail for... You know what? You got a bad attitude. You had a bad attitude last time you were in court. Okay? You're going for our buddy. Y'all get along. Y'all 45 days county jail. Okay. 93 days in the county jail. You want to go for a year? Try it right now.
If 90 days for a bad attitude might seem like the right judgment, then wait till you hear about Danta Wright's reaction and his eventual sentencing. Number 8. Danta Wright. In the courtroom, 17-year-old Danta Wright awaits his sentencing for the shooting death of high school student Jordan Klee. Having pled guilty to armed robbery, conspiracy to commit armed robbery, felony firearm violation, and second-degree murder, Danta faces the consequences of his actions. A family member steps forward to deliver a victim impact statement on behalf of Jordan Klee's mother, who was too overwhelmed with emotions to speak. The family member questions Dante's entitlement and the acceptability of taking another life for material gain.
Why you felt that what you wanted, you were entitled to. Why you thought his death was an acceptable response to your jealousy or desire to what he had. Drugs, clothes, money, jewelry, phones, shoes, whatever it was that you felt you needed more than his life. Your why will never be better than his life. Your want will never trump my son's death.
However, Dante's demeanor during the impactful statement raises eyebrows. Instead of showing remorse, he appears strangely lighthearted. His response to the gravity of the situation is unsettling, as he casually mentions,
I just want to tell y'all, I'll be home soon, or I'll be Keon. I love my family.
The judge, appalled by Dante's demeanor, rejects the sentence agreement and was tempted to opt for a trial, and if convicted of felony murder, sentence him to life in prison.
Watching you sit there, smile and laugh and shake your head like this was no big deal, I'm very tempted to just say, I'm not going to accept this sentence agreement. We'll go to trial, and if you're convicted of felony murder, you'll go to prison for the rest of your life. That means you'll die there. That's what I'm tempted to do.
After an hour of discussion with the victim's family, who understandably seeks justice, the judge decides to proceed with a sentencing agreement.
We understand that obviously this is the defendant who brutally murdered their son by shooting him in the back of the head. He's shown absolutely no remorse. However, the Klee family does want to move on with this, and they are asking, as well as the people, that you proceed with the sentencing. Okay.
Consequently, Danta Wright is sentenced to 25 to 52 years in prison. Dante's reaction might look absurd, but our next defendant in court reaction will blow your mind. Number 9. Jeremy Christian. We head to Portland, Oregon for the arraignment of Jeremy Christian, charged with 2 counts of second-degree murder for stabbing 2 men on a train. While being arrested, Christian was spotted at the back of the patrol car.
I'm happy as a mother. Hopefully this mother dies.
During the sentencing, Christian explodes when an impact statement is made, resulting in a physical altercation with officers.
To Mr. Jeremy Christian, your mom should have swallowed you. You are a waste of breath. And when you die and go to hell, I hope you rot.
See you there. You ain't gonna be married either. You ain't gonna be married either. George 4! George 4! I should've everybody knows you're alive! Everybody knows you're alive!
Christian was sentenced to 2 consecutive life terms, plus an additional 25 years. Christian's reaction is similar to our next defendant. Number 10. Sean Riker. Lastly, we are at the Racine County Circuit Court for the sentencing of Sean Riker. He was convicted of approximately 16 crimes, ranging from reckless endangerment to sexual assault of a child. He already had a past with 12 years spent in federal prison for detonating pipe bombs. Today, he arrives at court fully restrained and wearing a spit mask. However, restrained as he was, he directs his outburst towards Judge Wayne Merrick.
The idea, Merrick? Huh? You got me looking like a clown? Stupid Merrick.
In response to his disruptive behavior, heavily armed officers promptly escorted Riker out of the court. The sentence handed down is nothing short of severe, a staggering 200 years in prison. Despite his attempts to appeal the verdict, Riker finds himself denied, marking the conclusion of a tumultuous chapter in the Racine County Circuit Court.